Sorry, Mum and Dad.
Yeah, sorry, Mum and Dad.
Hi, I'm Pip.
And I'm Izzy, and we are apologising to our parents. But why are we apologising to our parents?
Because, Pols, I'm sure you and everyone listening will agree that the ages of 16 to 18 in your life are probably the most awkward and probably the worst for your parents.
That is true. I mean, everyone goes through massive changes and stages in their lives, and it all seems to happen between the ages of 16 and 18.
Exactly, and it happens so quickly, it's actually crazy.
I know. I mean, you go from GCSEs to A-levels to uni, underage drinking in a field, to house parties, to going to pubs, to going to clubs.
Yep, you learn to drive. There's lots of changes in your friendships and your relationships. You know, you can legally get married and move out and, so much more.
Yeah, it's honestly a crazy time that is definitely mentally and physically draining and confusing. And I think we can all agree that your parents are watching it happen, knowing they can't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, they're watching their little babies become adults and, also watching us do things that they probably wish we didn't do.
Yep, like drinking for the first time.
Yep.
Do you remember our first?
I think we were at a friend's house, weren't we?
Yeah.
And about what? I don't even know what age.
15,
but
16.
15, 16, yeah, basically.
Okay, so basically she has an older sister.
Yeah.
Who was probably 18.
This is our friend, by the way.
This is our friend, yeah. Who was probably 17, 18, and she had some friends around. And our friend was like, ooh, should I get some vodka? And we were like, oh, okay, go on then. So
Yeah, why
basically we
not?
had some vodka in our Fanta. Then she put it back right at the back of the cupboard where it was. And then her dad came in and was like, have you been drinking?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to drink. And then her sister came in and was like, no, it was actually me.
Yeah, we were kind of saved there because...
Yeah.
we could have been in a quite a lot of trouble, I think.
We would have been fine. It would have been her.
it would have been her.
Yeah.
Yeah, her dad was a bit. It was weird because her dad was a bit strict, but then like the next year when we all turned 16, it was
Yeah.
like he was absolutely fine with it. Kind of.
Which is fair enough because obviously he's...
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's yeah.
And we
I
sort
don't
of
know.
knew we were going to a party to drink when we were 16, whereas that was
sort of like in
spur of the
what's the word?
moment type.
Yeah, spur of the moment sort of.
Yeah. It was funny though because I remember lying... Because you went home, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
And,
I had a rugby match the next day.
Yeah, and then you FaceTimed us.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
really drunk.
Yeah.
Because basically what we did was we had Fanta and we had this vodka. And we had those big sort of like tumbler glasses.
Yeah.
No, not tumbler glasses. What are the big glasses called? Like American glasses. What are they? Yeah, American tumblers, that's what they're
Oh,
called.
right, yeah.
Like big glasses. And what we did was we poured about that much vodka in the
'Cause we
bottom.
didn't know what we were
And then the
doing.
rest was just Fanta. And it's like... At the age of, like that age, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
I obviously had a couple of drinks at Christmas perhaps,
Yeah,
like
like
previously.
glass
But like
of
that would be
champagne,
one
but-
glass of, one glass of Prosecco or champagne or rosé or
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that.
We'd never had really spirits. And, I was absolutely out of my mind. Like, just razzed off my ass,
Yeah.
basically. I will censor that.
I remember lying, because I stayed round and I was lying on the sofa and it was like, ooh, everything's moving. And I was like,
like the whole ship, the
yeah,
ship,
and
the
it's
swaying.
just like, it was so weird. And then, kind of after that, we sort of said, now having parties at house parties and, you'd get a few ciders.
I mean, I
and-
feel like it's a rite of passage.
It's not kind
sort
of
of like
normal.
at that age between 15 and 16 where you're on the edge and it's like everyone's sort of deciding that like, okay, now we're
Yeah.
at the age where we can have a party. Also like Sweet 16s
Yeah.
parties were a big thing sort of in and around here because we're in quite a posh white area. Posh.
Middle class.
Middle class white area. So, all the girls had to have their Sweet 16s.
Yeah. But it was fun. And sort of between year 11 and year 13, there was a lot of house parties. And they were great. Honestly,
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
the best
Definitely.
memories I have are, like, our friendship group would have them. And then, obviously, we'd have other people come. But at the beginning, we'd all go and we'd eat together. We'd set up. and
Yeah,
then
we'd like
everyone
have
would
a
come.
prees essentially. Yeah.
And it was just great. Like, you talk to people that someone in the group would know who brought their friendship group, who you
Yeah.
hadn't talked to.
Essentially, yeah. You
Yeah.
just became sort of like where you were only friends with, say, like so you're five, like we had about 5 or 6 main friends, and then we'd all invite individually one other person or 2 other people that we knew, and then we'd say like, you can bring like +2.
Yeah, something like that.
So then it was literally like, we'd go from a party of what would originally have been maybe like 10 of people that we'd all have invited to having a party of about 30, 40 people.
It was good.
You know, it was a bit mad, really.
Do you remember what happened at my 18th? So I had a house party, probably about 30 to 40 people, because luckily the weather was good, had a fairly decent sized garden, so people in the garden, in the kitchen, in the dining room. I was on my trampoline with my friends, right?
Oh, yeah.
And one of my friends came out saying, "Oh my God, this person, blah, 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 has just lit a cigarette in your house." And I was like, what? So I run in and my dad's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I was outside."
Oh, and I was like, I was so angry. I was literally livid. And I was just like, get the out, you know, like, I was so angry.
Because there was about 7 or 8 gate crashers.
Yeah, we had loads of, no, it was more than that.
Probably more than that.
It was like at least 10, if not more.
I mean, they were all in my year and it would have been fine if they just rocked up and just stayed there.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
To then light cigarettes in the house.
Exactly. I was livid.
We were like,
and then the funniest part was actually going, because obviously your parents were like in the back room.
Yeah.
And me and Izzy ran into the back room and we were like, "Don't worry, we've sorted it, it's fine."
And I was like, "Ooh, I don't know what happened, I don't know why they came, I don't know who lives there." And they're like, "It's fine, just get back to them."
Just like, "Don't worry, I've dealt with it.
Yeah.
I've kicked him out."
And then my dad went the next day, he was like, "Oh, I love Pip, she just took control of everything and dealt with it." And I was like, "Yeah, well, I was off on the trampoline."
Yeah, I was just livid. I was just like, how dare you come into a house that you weren't... I mean, you were kind of invited, but only because your friends were invited and then you've just turned up with them.
Which, again, would have been completely fine.
Yeah.
I didn't mind, but it's the fact that they then lit the cigarette in the house.
Exactly.
I did get an apology the next day, so
yeah,
we can
we forgive and forget and move on.
Do we forget?
Yeah.
No, because it was really funny.
It was pretty funny, actually.
It's just looking back now, what a funny night.
Oh, good night though.
It was a good night.
I mean, I think I haven't done a proper party here since my 17th. I think it must have been.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good night. It was a small night. Not many people turned up, but that was only because, well, I say not many people. I think we had at least 25-ish.
Something, yeah.
But I was aiming for the 30. If not 35. So I mean, yeah, we were only about like 5-10 off.
I think it's because our friendship group, we seem to all have birthdays, so it'd be someone's birthday, then my birthday, then the next week someone else's party, the week after someone else's party, and between September and October,
it was like every weekend was a party. Yeah, literally. No, so if you imagine our friendship group was what, 6-7 of us,
7, yeah,
and 4 of us were in a row.
Yeah,
essentially, and at least a week or 2 weeks.
5.
No, 5 of us.
5 of us.
Yeah, I forgot. 5 of us, and it was only a week, 2 week apart.
Yeah, so it was like
just,
all one weekend after the other, and then other people would have
parties in between.
Yeah, it was good though.
It was great, you know, but you were out every weekend and just hanging every Sunday.
I wasn't.
I was dying. I died every time.
Yeah, you did. I had a great time, to be honest.
To be fair, one of my favourite memories of you at a house party is so I think I must have turned up late. I think I was at work experience. I think I was doing a show or something. Yeah. So we were at our friend's house. So I just walked downtown to get there. Turned up late, so everyone's already been drinking. Everyone's a bit, happy, whatever. I just come up, I'm like, oh, I wonder where everyone is. I wonder where Izzy is, And then, I just come into the room and I, look to my left and they basically had these lovely, French doors that were open and they had a chair over the sort of gap of that sort of French door. I just see Izzy bounce over the chair and into, a frontwards roll. And then she just gets up and is like, woo! And I was just like...
I didn't... Because one of my friends did that. We haven't turned these on.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
Sorry, audience.
Sorry, I just noticed the
inconsistencies
camera.
there.
But yeah, so one of my friends did it and he actually ended up breaking his toe, which we didn't realise. And I thought, oh, I'll follow you.
But it was just the fact that as I came in, I turned left and I just see Izzy go whee over to over this what was it even it was a really nice couch as well. It was
like
not
a
even
chair
yeah, what they called love seat chair
something
kind of thing.
That, yeah.
Oh my god, I was just right. I felt like turning around and going back out, to be honest, because I was just what is happening?
But after that, it was a great night.
Yeah. I think I spent most of that night actually outside with one of our other friends. We were just sat on the decking, just talking the whole night because I wasn't really that drunk and it was already about 10 o'clock by then.
Been at work. I was living my life, not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then sort of that was sort of year 11, year 12 and going into 13, but then people turn 18.
Yeah, 18 is the big number,
It's the
isn't
big
it?
one. And then, so that's, I had my big party at my 18th.
Yeah.
And then you start going to pubs.
Yeah, the house parties sort of dwindle away.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't stop.
They don't stop, but
they do sort of dwindle.
Because as obviously more people turn 18, people then go out to clubs as well.
Clubs and pubs, yeah. Exactly.
So it's sort of they fade away, which is fine because you've got this new exciting thing.
Yeah, experience of a pub. Yeah, exactly. Especially like, a cheap Weatherspoons on a Saturday night.
When we went for your birthday on the Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
I'd broken my arm, so I was already dosed up on.
Yeah, no, it was literally just the two of us because we were like, it's a Wednesday night, no one else is gonna want to come out.
Yeah.
I think at that time we were like had mocks or something as well, like coming up to mocks, I think, because the mocks were in November, weren't they? So we were like, I was like, nah, most of our friends aren't probably gonna come out, and also half of them weren't 18 yet either. Yeah. So I was just like, Izzy, let's go to the pub on a Wednesday. And so we went and we just had like 4 or 5 drinks.
Oh, it was great.
It wasn't that much, but it was just so nice. It was just
so
the two of us.
Yeah.
Just sat in the pub, just like, we're supposed to be here now.
Yeah. And they were like, where's your ID? And I was like, it's here.
Do you know, that's one thing I really hate. It's like, you go in and you show them your ID, especially like when they have the bouncers on the door. So obviously they're not going to let you in unless you have your ID. So you go in, you give them your ID. Then you get to the bar and order a drink and they ask for your ID again. It's like, why are you asking for my ID
and
again?
then if they come and give the drinks to you, they ask
them
again.
for ID again because it's like, I mean, I get it. It's all policy and whatnot, but it's just a bit over the top, If you've been let in by the bouncer, you're more likely to be 18 than not. And really, who's going to have dodgy bouncers? Like,
exactly.
Well, I mean, I say that.
Probably.
but you know.
I mean, I get ID'd all the time.
Well, that's not surprising.
So, then you'd go to pubs, which was usually like a meal and a few drinks.
Yep.
We used to do that all the time with our music group before concerts.
Yeah.
So, our music group was our main friendship group sort of in year 13.
In year 13, yeah.
And we'd spend all day in the hall setting up and rehearsing. We'd then go to Spoons, and it was usually curry night on Thursday, so half of us would get curries.
Yeah, I'd probably go for a nachos.
Classic nachos.
Classic nachos.
And we'd all get a few bevs and go to the
definitely
concert.
A few, yeah.
A few, and we'd go to the concert and we'd all be like, ooh.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
There's a specific one I remember for me when we did the concert for the Year 7 open evening.
Yeah.
And I had a solo and it was actually James Bond we were playing.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that was one of my favourites.
And I had the solo in that and I started playing and then suddenly all the music just went ooh, and I was like, ooh. We got through it, so it was fine.
Yeah, it was all right in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where I remember you looked back at me and I'd be like I'm done. I'm not able to play. I can't. And like every time like any of us, so obviously we're all in this concert group.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The music
orchestra. No, what
concert
were we?
band.
We were a concert band. That's what we were.
Yeah.
And so we'd all be there, and so we'd all just be like watching each other to see. And then the second anyone started like messing up, we'd be like, they're pizzled.
Because I would be directly, because me and my friend, we were on trumpet and we were directly opposite our friend on clarinet.
Yeah.
And then you'd be
I was right at the back. Yeah.
So we were playing, looking at each other, like trying not to laugh, and then looking at you as you're like.
Because the worst part about it is because I played bass.
Yeah.
And I feel like every mistake was really noticeable because it's like the low tone.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously you might not have heard it because you've got a bunch of trumpets on your side, but I definitely know that the audience would have heard it. And I was just, there were so many times when our conductor would be like, what are you playing? Are you sure you got the right music out? And it's like, I don't know.
The worst bit for us was because in year 13 we were first trumpets.
Oh, yeah.
And because I'm smaller than my friend, I sat directly like next to the audience.
Yeah.
So because he's taller, everyone could then see him, and so did our friend on clarinet. And we were just like, we really need to not mess up. It was good though.
Wasn't that also? Didn't we also go to the pub before that time when you and the guy who was on clarinet switched music? I swear we had been to the pub before that.
Right, so this is another thing that we did. So we had our Thursdays, period 4 and 5, and then it would be lunch between. We had them free.
Yeah.
So a couple of times we went to the pub before the concert band rehearsals, and I don't know what was happening, but we decided to switch the music just for fun. Like the conductor knew we were doing it. And so we started playing the clarinet part and he started playing the trumpet part, and it was like the worst because clarinet's like and I was like, oh, I can't do it.
Especially considering like we'd been a little bit like happy anyway,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
It's
the
just-
conductor was lovely. Like, she thought
Yeah,
it was
she thought it
hilarious.
was great. And she was
Yeah.
like, oh, it sounds so good.
And then when one of our friends from uni came back, when we were still in year 13,
yeah.
someone made us do shots. So we then had a rehearsal, but we were split, which was really annoying because it was just the brass section with one of the more stricter conductors, and I was there like,
Yeah.
I can't play.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we had to go to parents' evening. My mum looked at me and she went,
Parents' evening.
"You're slightly pizzled, right?" And I went, no. She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "It's fine." And I remember sitting.
remember
The
that.
first teacher, he was like talking to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, yes,
Yeah,
okay,
like
yes."
the intense staring,
Intense,
like, you know.
just to. They all
Oh,
knew,
don't.
like all the music teachers.
Oh,
they knew.
100%. Yeah, they literally were like, you going to the pub?
Yeah,
And we'd
they
be
would
like,
ask
yeah.
us, they'd be like, "You going pub tonight?" We'd be like, "Yeah," and they'd be like, "Oh, have fun, see you later."
Yeah, don't get too drunk.
Because at the end of the day, when all said and done, we still performed to a great, we still
Standard.
performed
Yeah,
well.
exactly. I mean, yeah, we were
We had fun, but we didn't take the mick.
we were
and-
very lucky enough to be part of like a very good school in terms of music anyway.
Yeah.
So the standard was always good, and we consistently were good
yeah,
enough
even though
that our
we
teachers
had a
were
few-
like, okay, you can go to the pub kind of
because
thing.
they knew that we'd still come and give a good performance.
Exactly. Like if they thought it would sort of hinder our performances.
Yeah.
they
I mean,
would've-
we've
they
seen
would've
them
said
there
something.
multiple times.
Exactly,
Before
yeah.
the concert, we'd be like, "All right, sir,"
Yeah,
and they'd
just
be like,
across
"All
the
right."
tables, like,
Yeah.
oh hi.
Like, "Hello, don't see all the bands."
Yeah, we don't have like 6 beers lined up
No,
to
definitely
to
not.
down, Oh,
But yeah,
don't.
fun times.
Oh, great
Fun
times, great times. So, moving on from pubs, I suppose the next big thing is clubs.
Yeah,
right?
the next stage.
Clubbing.
Clubbing.
Yeah.
We, our first 2 times we clubbed were together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was just
Yeah.
about to say, but did we definitely go together in the first 2? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was our friend's birthday, wasn't it? And she.
Yeah, because she was the last one in our group to turn 18.
Yeah, and this is again the transition between house parties to
Yeah.
clubbing, and she actually just decided, because she was a huge house party person. Like,
Yeah,
it
she'd
was
be
always
the one to hold.
Yeah, we sort of had like 2 people in our group, and they were like always the big house parties.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she decided rather than do that, she'd go clubbing.
It was great. It was
Yeah, I turned up late
Yeah,
again. I
'cause
was
of work.
working.
But yeah, no, it was definitely an experience that I won't forget. The first
yeah,
time.
I think it was a bit of a shock, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was dancing, on the dance floor. We actually saw a few people from our school there, so that was
Yeah,
interesting.
that was weird as well.
But
They like weren't in our group either, so it was like
Yeah.
even more awkward. We were
people
like,
we didn't really
"Hi."
speak to. We were like, "Hello." But this, I always remember this experience. And now, so I'm not gay, right?
Yeah.
Just to put that out there. And dancing
I'm glad
with
we've
my
clarified
friends,
that.
Yeah, dancing with my friends, and this girl just wraps her arms around me and starts
Ooh,
doing it. And I look
yes.
at my friend, I'm like, nope, just wrap her arms up and run away.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
like, no.
the funniest part about Izzy is that like a lot of people do mistake. I think it's the haircut
Yeah.
and the clothing, but genuinely, Izzy would not touch another woman with like what's the saying, with a
2
barge
foot
pole.
pole.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a solid no, and so it's really funny when you have these experiences. And I think a lot of them have happened in clubs, haven't they? Where
I haven't had too many, luckily, but I've had
it's
a
just
few.
it's just like
That one
oh,
that sticks out because it was the first time.
yeah,
and I
it's
was
the
like,
first time.
I literally looked and I was like, ooh, what's happening?
I just remember, so I get very what's the word? I get quite angry. Not angry. I get quite
Protective. I think.
protective when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Like very protective when I'm drunk. And so there were a lot of guys trying to like grind on our friends.
Yeah.
And so I literally what I did was I like gathered all my friends into like a little corner, and then I would like stand between these guys and the girls, just because I really got annoyed. It's like, what gives you the right to
Yeah.
do that? That's one thing I really don't like about clubbing, actually.
Yeah.
Like if we were to talk about it properly, like what gives men the right to just
No, I know. It's
awkwardly come up behind someone without even letting a girl see who they are,
and just grab
and just
them.
grabbing them and starting like
Yeah,
grinding on them
It's just-
essentially.
it's not.
It's just it's a bit gross. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, still love clubbing, still go out
Oh,
at
yeah,
uni
definitely
all the
is.
time.
I think uni's different though. Like we've said in a
Yeah.
previous episode, because you have all like the sports teams in the SU uni.
Yeah, and
So
you
you
sort of
kind
have
of
your
know
own group that
everyone.
you go with, whereas we
Yeah.
were just a very small group of
group.
girls,
In a big
in a big club, yeah.
I ended up seeing one of my friends in the year above, who's actually my friend's friend, just on the stairs. We had a lovely chat.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I spent a lot of time upstairs.
Yeah. I honestly, I didn't realise
in the
that this
outside
club
area.
had 3 floors.
Yeah.
So I just thought we were on the same floor the whole night.
No,
It turned out
yeah.
we were going up and down.
We were just going up and so it had
Yeah.
like the main floor, which was like the big dance floor.
one.
Then it had the second floor, which was like had the disco lights on the floor, which were awesome.
Apparently.
Like really, really cool, like proper disco mat, like what is that, 80s, 70s,
Yeah.
80s. And then the top floor was like the outside smoking area, or just outside
The
area.
outside,
I just
yeah.
found it was so hot in the club
Yeah.
that I just had to go upstairs
Yeah,
all the
definitely.
time. I was just like, can't breathe.
I find that at uni as well. And then we went again for the second time, and that was actually I think that was a better.
I don't think did I go for the
you
second
go?
time?
We were in Stortford.
No, I didn't go.
No, you
I
didn't
wasn't
go.
there. I was probably working.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, I went again. I actually enjoyed that one slightly more because you weren't. No, I'm joking.
Oh, thanks.
But it was the actual club itself wasn't as full of weird men,
yeah.
so that was
I feel like
nice.
that's because it was an older club.
and it wasn't right in the centre of a big town.
Yeah, it's just sort of on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that when you go to clubs where specifically it's for younger, like just turned 18 year olds, you get a lot more guys being a bit more sort of like over the top, and it's like
Whereas if you go to sort of like a normal town club, it's not as bad. So
yeah, exactly.
But clubbing is an experience.
Yeah, it's an experience.
It's good fun.
I definitely wouldn't. I don't regret it or anything.
No,
like, it was still
no.
a really good night.
I
Like,
mean, they're some of my favourite memories. Getting the Mackies
Yeah.
in the taxi.
Oh god, and he was so angry. The taxi driver was so angry at us.
Yeah.
He was like, "If you spill it, you're paying £600
It's
to
like,
have
I'm
dry
not
cleaning."
gonna Spill my nuggies.
It's like, really? Like, I get it. I mean, I get it. It's his livelihood and all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 600 quid,
If you
like
drop
maybe
a
like
chip.
50 quid or something. I mean, how much is a dry
I'm
cleaning?
not gonna lie to you. If you drop a chip or a chicken nugget, it's
It's
really
not like it's
the
gonna
end of the
spill.
world.
Yeah, I suppose it was more the
It's
drinks.
the drinks,
wasn't it?
but anyway,
I don't know. But yes.
it was good. Good times.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we've talked about house parties, clubs, pubs, all of that. But the one thing that every school has in year 11 and usually year 13, prom.
Prom. Ugh.
Prom.
Prom.
Yeah, as you can tell, we're
I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just a night that I don't. Well, year 11 prom, a night I don't
Yeah.
really remember, and then year 13 prom, I was working.
yeah. Well, we didn't actually have a prom in year 13 because
No, it was
basically
more like a meet,
at our
wasn't it?
school they were like year 12 and year 13 will share their prom. Year 13 didn't want us there. Year
Yeah.
12s also didn't want to then fork out for another prom outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
So because we then didn't go in year 12, they were like, oh, we're not going to do one for you in year 13.
Yeah, which was so
is
rubbish,
rubbish.
really. Well, who wants to share a prom with year 13? Like, when we were in
Yeah,
year
when
12,
we were in
why
12.
would we want to share a prom with year 13? It's not like we knew some people, but not enough
And they
to
didn't
be...
want us, which is
Exactly, which is completely
enough.
fair, exactly.
Yeah, and then...
You know, so...
So we had a leavers lunch, but then our friend sort of organised she like got a town hall, and we all had to pay like five. I think
that
it was
that was where I went. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the lunch.
No, you didn't go to the
I was
lunch.
working. I think.
But yeah, so that was nice. But so year 11 prom was really our main.
Yeah, was the main one, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't remember any of it really. I have videos that I'm very embarrassed about, but other than that, yeah, I don't remember anything. Because,
I mean,
you know,
the first 5 minutes of prom, this girl had this bright red lipstick on, and this wasp was obsessed with her
was
lips.
it? I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
And
oh no, yeah, well
I
done.
was talking and then I put my arm down and this wasp stung me
it?
right here the first 5 minutes.
Where was I? Where was I?
No clue.
Well, because I mean, this also goes back to like the whole drinking sort of at the age of 16. I
Yeah.
guess you know we'd had a couple of bevs at yours,
Yeah,
because we all got ready at
pre-prom at
Izzy's.
mine.
You know, we were all in our dresses, makeup
Taking
done.
photos, yeah. We
Yeah,
were
taking
we were in
photos.
dresses.
We were in
just to put
dresses.
that out there.
Oh, mad one. But yeah, it was like, so we had a few drinks there, and then basically my favourite memory was the fact that all the girls, or not all the girls, but some of the girls were like strapping bottles of
Like hip flasks. And
like hip flasks or bottles of like peach schnapps
Yeah.
or vodka, like little bottles.
the small ones
To their thighs under their dresses. So what happens was when we first got there, we obviously did all the pictures and stuff, and you know,
Yeah.
as you do, and then I went off into the toilet just to go for a wee, you know,
Yeah.
minding my own business, and then this girl comes up to me and goes, "Pip, I need you to finish this," and it was a whole bottle of oh God, what was it? It was a mixture. I know it wasn't what was actually the bottle label. It was like limoncello, and I think she said she put something like Malibu in it as well.
God.
And she's like, Pip, I need you to finish this because apparently the teachers had clocked on that some people had bought, flasks. And so they were searching certain people that they suspected. So she's like, I need you to finish this so I can chuck the bottle. And I was like, sure. And there was at least half of it left. I mean, it was about that big, and there was about that much left. And it was just a mix of limoncello and Malibu down the whole thing. Bearing in mind, I think I had at least 3 glasses of Prosecco at yours. I was wasted. I don't remember a single thing after that.
Kind of, like, I was drunk, but not on the level I usually
get,
because I think I was too busy doing other
talking to people and stuff. Well, I spent my whole night at the dance floor.
But the best decision I ever made was to wear flats. Didn't wear heels. And
I wore heels.
They were taking their shoes off, getting their nasty ass feet out.
I lasted an hour and a half in my heels,
and I was having a great night, boogieing away with my flats on.
Yeah, I was in pain. A lot of pain, and people kept standing on my feet. That really hurt.
But the weirdest thing for me was seeing. So the teachers were there, and people would just be smoking.
Yeah, that was so odd.
But the teachers sort of, at that point, because we technically left school,
they couldn't tell us that, and also we weren't on school property.
Yeah.
So they couldn't tell us that we couldn't do that, which is hilarious because I suppose you can smoke at 16, can't you?
Yeah, I think so. Whereas obviously drinking
is 18, so that's why.
It was interesting. It was good memories of it, but
very few memories of it. Yeah,
in your case.
Yeah.
It was a good night.
It was a good night. Yeah. Before we go, I do think we should talk about driving and learning to drive.
Yes, 17 in the UK is when you can legally learn to drive.
Yep.
And we both got our driving licence as soon as we could.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, my first driving lesson was like literally the day or 2 days after my 17th birthday.
Yeah, you were very lucky because you booked in advance, whereas I kind of didn't, and so I had to wait 2 months before I started driving. No, it was 2 months.
Well, the thing is, my mum's friend who she used to work with, so my mum's friend husband is a driving instructor. So my parents and they used to go out like for dinner and stuff. So kind of I was 7 when he first sort of learned to be a driving instructor.
Oh, right,
so I was like, I'm going to learn to drive with you when I was 7. And then I saw him a few months before, and he was quite popular.
Yeah.
So but he got me in because, good old friends.
It's
who you know.
It's who you know. Exactly.
And a lot of my friends wanted to get with him, but couldn't. Like, I think you tried.
I thought you meant get with him, like get with him.
Ew, no, don't say that.
So, yeah,
like, get lessons with him.
Yeah, no, I went with someone else, and he was like all booked up for 2 months.
Yeah.
And I basically, so my birthday's in the very beginning of October, and I didn't get my first driving lesson till the last week of December.
Yeah.
I was actually really unlucky with my driving as well, because my test got delayed as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I was supposed to have my test in, what was it? It was either May or June.
Yeah.
And then it got delayed till August because
that was really
they had
weird.
flooding, and then they couldn't fit us, all the people that got kicked out because of the flooding in the testing centre.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't fit them in because obviously the next week's had been booked up. So the next available slot was August. It's like, great, thanks.
That's really irritating.
It was awful.
Yeah. But you passed first time.
I did
so
pass
that's good.
first time.
I did not. It wasn't actually my fault. Kind of was, but basically there was 3 of us taking the test in the same day. I went to turn on the car and it wouldn't turn on. And I was like, what's happening? He went, well, the steering lock's on. And I was like, and he was like, so you need to wiggle your steering wheel. The one thing that we hadn't touched on because we didn't, like, the driving instructor, there's so much to learn and so much you learn even now when you've been driving for multiple years.
Yeah.
That was just something that was just
Never came
not...
up, yeah.
And for any reason it just didn't come up. So that meant that I was then the last car to go out of the test centre. Yeah. So I was following this car that was going the same way as me. And as we came out, so we turned left, and then there was a little island which you had to turn left to. And so coming out, the road would come up, and you had to go round the island to turn left. Or right, this is my right hand. As you know, I don't know my lefts and my right, so that's good. Luckily I did for that day. But he went down the up way.
Oh, this is the driver in front of you.
This is the driver in front of me. So he blocked the arrow on the island saying I had to go round. So I didn't realise I had to go round because I don't think I'd been there before, that specific bit. Or I was, it's your test, you're a bit nervous,
you're a
and
bit
you
nervous.
just follow
Don't
the
think
car
about
in
it,
front because
exactly.
you think they're right.
Yeah.
Then he got wedged up some cars, and I realised that I'd gone, so basically drove the wrong way down the road, long story short.
Yeah.
So failed in the first 30 seconds, but we still did the rest of the test, and that was,
Yeah, it was a good experience.
it wasn't a great
anyway.
test, I'm gonna say, but
No.
the driver of the first car, the guy had gone down the wrong way, got out and walked back to the test centre because he didn't feel safe with the driver
Really?
to continue the test. I mean, he got wedged. Oh, it was awful. So I think that was more the fact that I was unlucky with who I'd come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that second test was fine, passed easy. So,
Yeah, I just I think I had the guy that you had the first time.
The first time, yeah.
And so literally all I did was, he was like, what are you missing in school then? And I was like, music. And he was like, oh, I love music. And then obviously we got talking. And honestly, I think I should have failed because I'm fairly sure, because you fail for really stupid things.
Yeah.
Like, so I had to pull up on the other side of the road, up on the side, and I'm fairly sure I hit the curb. I'm fairly sure I did because I felt a bump, but obviously it wasn't big enough that he would notice it. But also I think because I had him talking, he was a bit distracted.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, how stupid! If you hit the curb, that's considered a fail. It's
like
pathetic.
a major, not even a minor.
Like I didn't even hit it hard. I think I just scraped the edge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like literally, I would have failed if he'd noticed. But yeah, I just got him talking.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yes, I really like Mozart and all that rubbish.
Because he was talking to me about classical music.
Yeah.
That
was a very squeaky chair.
But yeah, I mean, now obviously we've both been past for about 3 years. You have a car.
I do have a
car. I do not. But
I do a lot of driving.
Yeah.
So.
When I'm at home from uni, I get insurance on my mum's car. So it's nice, It's nice to have the freedom.
The freedom to do whatever you want, basically.
Yeah.
Go wherever you want. Yeah, I mean, I've like driven up to your uni.
Yeah,
once,
you drove.
That was probably my longest journey. It took like what, 2 hours, 2.5? No. Is it not that long?
It takes an hour and a half.
It only takes an hour and a half,
maybe.
Oh, that's basically what I drive to my uni.
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
too
know.
bad.
What's the longest journey I've ever been? Oh, I've been up north.
Oh yeah.
I think I went to a zoo somewhere.
Oh.
And that took like 3 hours. That was a long
God,
drive.
that's long.
My legs hurt after that. Like really hurt from like having the clutch and the
Yeah. But yeah, like we said, it's just great to be able to get in a car and drive anywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and we are done.
The end of another episode. God, I'm exhausted.
No, me too. There's just so much that we could talk about.
I know, it's honestly crazy. But anyway, now on to some news.
Yep, next week is our last ever episode. No.
No, it's not the last ever episode. The last episode of season 1.
Oh.
Season 2 will be coming to your ears very shortly, so don't you worry.
I forgot.
I just have no words at this point.
Anyways, make sure to join us next Thursday as we round up the season. Possibly give you a couple of sneaky spoilers for season 2, and don't forget to send us in any questions you might have for us.
Yes,
because it would be nice to actually answer some questions for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be next Thursday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. Podcasts. Same
and
difference.
Anywhere
else we deem necessary.
And talking about questions, follow us, send those questions on our social media at Pip and Izzy, TikTok, Instagram, and anywhere if we have any other social media.
Yeah.
Which we probably won't at this point, but
yeah, exactly.
So see you on Thursday.
Bye.